Good morning, and joining us on the phone, an amazing performer and a legend in music, Mr. Danny Hutton of Three Dog Night. Good morning.
Hey, Charles, how you doing?
Doing great. You guys have a big show coming up in Rockford, but first off, it's a pleasure to speak to you. Three Dog Night have been an amazing sort of enigma, I guess if you want to call that, in classic rock and in music in general. You guys had a string of hits starting in the late 60s through the mid 70s, and the music is absolutely timeless. How great is it to get out on stage and perform those songs everyone knows and loves?
Oh, I love it. People say, "Oh, don't you get bored of singing Joy of the World or about, one or," and I never do, because the venue, usually we play in one city a night. You're not like in the same place for a week or something. And so it's always refreshing, and I know unless we screw it up, the audience is going to like the song. And I'm really proud of the band. And we've just been doing well. We have a new album coming out. We will be doing at least one new song, and I know everyone's there for the hits, which we're going to do.
Yeah.
But we're really proud of the song. The new song gets a standing ovation every night.
And you guys are no spring chickens, as it were.
81 going on 82, I can go through a metal detector. There's no metal in my body. It's all natural.
Again, being out there on stage in your 80s, did you think this is what you'd be doing when you started all this off in the 60s?
No, I don't think you even think about it. Well, first of all, when you're young, you don't even think you're ever going to die, that kind of thing. I stopped partying and got really healthy. We just played a Ryman in Nashville the other day, and that's like the home of country music.
Yeah.
And it was a little scary going in there. Here from L.A.
Yeah.
The L.A. band. I think, oh my God,
that's impressive. You guys are traveling on a bus, I imagine, for most dates.
I bought a bus, and the bus had to have some repairs, and then the new part we bought didn't work, so we had to fly. It was a horrendous last weekend, but it was worth it after playing the Ryman.
You guys are doing a rescheduled show after you had some illness last year, so you're back out making up some dates, and we're glad to have you coming to Rockford. Tickets on sale now, March 2nd at the Coronado Theater in Rockford, 7:30 p.m., Three Dog Night. Joining us on the phone, of course, Danny, legendary member of Three Dog Night. You've sang these songs for decades now, and you've got quite a big catalog, too, of songs maybe the audience isn't fully familiar with. Is there one that you dust off every now and then and play because it's your jam? It's the song you want to perform?
It all depends. We kind of have a set that really works, but what we're doing, we're waiting. We have the album, and we used to, when we first started, would like to try to pick the single, and we were almost always wrong. Joy to the World was the third single off an album, so that tells you where we thought. One was the third single off an album after we tried two other songs. But we ended up having 21 consecutive top 40 hits in a row. So Billboard says we hold a record. So that's crazy.
You have done your share of singing and performing on lots of stuff. Three Dog Night has been used in movie soundtracks, TV shows,
all the time.
Everything else. What's the oddest check or placement you've gotten where Three Dog Night has popped up?
They almost do the music last as far as picking it. So what they'll do, a lot of these placers, they will notify about 4 or 5 people, hey, we'd like permission to use your song. And I always just used to think, oh, my God, that's great. That's going to be in the movie. And it's not always in the movie.
Yeah.
We've been really lucky. Forrest Gump, we're on that album, that 16 million records.
Yeah.
And The Big Chill was 12 million records. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. So, and everybody says, well, what's your favorite song? And or I get these English music magazines a lot. They'll say, if you could, what song would fit in the movie? What movie? All of our songs.
Yeah.
Well, to me, we do a lot of movie themes.
It's always fun to go see a concert live. What does Three Dog Night bring to the table? If you show up at Rockford coming up on March 2nd and you're in the audience, what are they going to be most impressed by from you guys?
Well, I'll tell you this. Usually, because I hear from our crew guys and stuff like that when they're walking. Well, when we end the show and people leave, they usually say they're stunned by how many hits.
Yeah,
I had no idea they did that. We're good. There's no rookies.
How many dates a year are you guys doing right now?
I want 100. That's what we had just before COVID.
Wow.
100 a year, and that makes me feel good and makes my wife able to buy more shoes.
That's awesome. Danny Hutton joining us from Three Dog Night, upcoming show March 2nd at the Coronado in Rockford. Somebody wants to find out more about Three Dog Night or even maybe find out when that new album's coming out. Is there a place on the internet they can go?
Yeah, just go to our website, threedognight.com. And that'll have that. I'm not a big computer guy. I mean,
again, that show coming up in Rockford March 2nd. You guys have a great tour, and thank you.
All right. Thank you, Charles.